Right now at noon, the city of Frontenac will be taking out a trash service later this year after a history of issues.
And after a windy day today, we do warm up as we head into the weekend.
Plus, the appearance of bird flu in southwest Missouri takes its toll on a chicken farm in Newton County.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. New at noon today, customers of Cards Trash Service in Frontenac will have to find another service starting May 1st of this year. According to the mayor of Frontenac on Facebook, Cards will no longer be permitted to operate within the city limits. The mayor says the city council voted 8-0 to deny Cards Trash Service's city license application on Wednesday. This after Pittsburgh residents raised issues with the trash service in 2024 and other complaints about the company within the 4 states region. Frontenac residents who are currently using Cards as their provider will need to switch to one of the licensed providers listed on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Also new at noon, a chimney fire in Newton County causes extensive damage. The fire happened last night at a residence near Neosho as flames had spread from the chimney into the roof. Firefighters began a tanker shuttle since the area is remote and no hydrants were readily available. No one was injured as the residents were out safely and no firefighters were hurt battling the blaze. And some residents of a Carthage apartment building find themselves without a home following a fire. Emergency crews responded to the fire at the Daisy Court Apartments yesterday. Responders found smoke from one section of the apartments as people were evacuating. A number of people were treated for smoke inhalation. Authorities transported one person non-emergency to an area hospital. Now let's head over to meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a look at first weather.
Well, winds are picking up ahead of a front moving in tonight. So we're going to see winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour and strengthening as we head into early afternoon, up to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, especially in the central and northern counties. Now this is causing a bit of a wind chill because temperatures are still relatively cooler. It's going to be about 10 degrees cooler than actual temperatures. But right now we're in the upper 30s. We're going to be reaching mid 40s here in just a couple of hours, but it feels like still in the upper 20s because of that southerly breeze. So we are still going to see that wind chill all the way through this evening. Outside of that, a few clouds in those northern counties passing by, but we stay mostly clear skies today. And like I said, with those temperatures reaching mid 40s, it's going to be a nice day today. Now, as we head into the evening, clear skies continue, but temperatures start to drop down through the 30s with an overnight low 30s and upper 20s. But I'll have a full forecast coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Authorities in Aurora have begun a homicide investigation that reaches into Arkansas. Police say at around 1:45 yesterday morning, this woman, Taylor Santiago, arrived at the Aurora Police and Fire facility and said she had just murdered her estranged husband at her home. Officers took Santiago into custody and responded to her apartment. They found the man identified as Santiago's estranged husband dead inside. Police say Santiago also disclosed that she had earlier driven to Arkansas and shot 2 people, one of whom was the biological father of one of her children. That man is currently listed in serious condition. The other victim, a woman, died. Santiago has been charged with first-degree murder in Missouri. She is currently in the Lawrence County Jail. Well, Newton County is dealing with its very first documented bird flu outbreak in history. Birds at 2 farms owned by Opal Foods were infected. Opal Foods produces eggs for brands like Eggland's Best and Land O'Lakes. Now they're in the process of euthanizing all 2.6 million birds at the farm. The euthanized birds and affected eggs will be transported to a landfill in Lamar, Missouri. Then the farm will be sanitized. Cleanup and sanitation will be overseen by the USDA, and they expect to be done by early 2026. The administrator at the Newton County Health Department says the risk of bird flu in humans is minimal.
The Department of Agriculture is on site to oversee the destruction of the birds, and they have been following all procedures and policies and have been very cooperative with the local health department as well as state officials.
Now, he says there's a possibility that egg and chicken prices increase as a result of the outbreak. And illnesses such as the flu, RSV, and COVID are causing a disturbance to one school district in Oklahoma. Fairland School District has canceled school yesterday and today to help slow the spread of illness. The district superintendent says close to 25% of students and staff have missed school due to sickness.
We see the peak now because school comes back in session from that Christmas break. So, we had those 3-4 weeks to where we were away from everyone. A lot of us were really more contained to our homes, and then we hit the holidays and we all joined back together, and then school starts back up, and you just really see a big increase between sports and school and things of that such.
The superintendent of Fairland Schools says the decision has not been made about whether or not the school will make up the missed school days at the end of the year. The Homeless Coalition hosted a free event at the Salvation Army in Joplin yesterday. The event provided access to housing resources, medical services, employment opportunities, and more. Organizers say the primary purpose is to get more accurate numbers on homelessness in the area. And coming up, an agreement will soon expand access to broadband internet in parts of southwest Missouri. And later, we're making sheep pan toad in a hole in the Mr. Food test kitchen. Well, if you think gas prices have been rising in Missouri, you'd be right. According to AAA, the average gas price in the Show Me state is $2.83, a 4-cent increase in the last week and a 21-cent increase since this day last year. Fortunately, some of the lowest gas prices in the state are right here in our area. Jasper and McDonald counties are both at $2.78. And gas prices on average are lower for some neighboring states. Oklahoma's current average sits at $2.71. In Arkansas, it's $2.77. And in Kansas, the average price is $2.81. Well, Newton County residents will soon have more access to broadband internet. It's a project the county has been working on for more than 2 years. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how the County Commission hopes a partnership with Allo Communications will benefit residents.
The Newton County Commission has approved an agreement with Allo Communications to implement a broadband deployment plan. Using nearly $7 million in funding from the American Rescue Plan Act and an investment from Allo, it will create a backbone fiber line. This will allow for increased access to the internet across the most rural parts of the county.
During COVID, when the schools were closing and all that, they were trying to do schoolwork from home. Well, there's a lot of families that didn't have internet even available to them, and we're just trying to get it up.
Allo is currently working on increasing broadband internet in Joplin. That's how Newton County caught the company's eye. In a statement to KOAM, they say, quote, "Through our discussions with the city of Joplin, we identified how critically underserved Newton County is in terms of broadband options. By addressing this critical infrastructure gap, Allo aims to foster economic growth, enhance educational opportunities, and improve access to essential digital services for the community."
You know, in today's world, a lot more people work from home and stuff, and we want that opportunity for people to move to Newton County and still be able to have broadband to where if they do work from home or need the broadband, it's there for their students. I think it's going to be a good deal for all of the citizens in these areas, and I think they'll be excited.
According to the commissioner, the program won't just make it easier for people to connect or maybe work from home, but it will also work to keep them safe.
We are also trying to do some low water bridge flood alert systems, and by having this broadband out there at the areas where we have a flood risk in the county, we're actually going to have monitors that will not only alert us, but it'll also alert traffic to not go that direction.
Allo says the project is currently in the design phase. The company estimates construction to finish by the end of October 2026. Reporting in Newton County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Allo is also currently working on establishing a fiber network in Joplin. You can find a link to track what progress is being done in your community on our website. Of course, that's KOAMNewsNow.com. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
A sheep pan meal that's as fitting for breakfast as it is for dinner. And believe it or not, it's done in less than 15 minutes.
And we have a warm up in the forecast as we head into the weekend. I'll have those details right after the break. Well, mostly today we're going to see pretty gusty winds, 25 to 30 miles per hour, but warmer temperatures. Let's go ahead and take a look outside. Downtown Pittsburgh, not a cloud in sight. It is very clear skies out there, very sunny, and starting to get warmer. Now, actual temperatures right now, about 38 degrees. However, with the wind chill, kind of feels like upper 20s, so it's still going to feel a bit cooler, but with the sun it might not be too bad. Now we're going into a ridge. We've got this nice little ridge, high pressure system sitting over our area, some clouds just north of us, but we are staying clear skies at least through the evening. More clouds do roll in tomorrow, but we also continue to warm up tomorrow as well. So you can see current temperatures right now about 38 degrees, but we're warming up to the mid 40s. Tomorrow forecasted temperatures in the mid 40s to upper 40s. Sunday, we're a little bit cooler because we are seeing a cold front come through, so back down to the low 40s, and we're right back to warming up on Monday, upper 40s. Now let's take a look at these winds. 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts all the way through 5 p.m. tonight. You can see out of the south, nothing really changes until we get to later on this evening in the overnight hours. We're still seeing those winds gusting 15 to 20 miles per hour all the way until our cold front moves through. This is going to be moving in starting about 6-7 a.m. on Saturday in those northern counties, but it's a pretty slow moving cold front, so it takes pretty much all day to actually move through the entire viewing area, and we're going to see some winds gusting following this cold front out of the north, again 15, 20 to even 25 miles per hour. Doesn't last long. Winds die down pretty quickly as well as we head into Saturday. So are we expecting any rain with this? Not really. Let's take a look at our future track. So more clouds move in, overcast skies right ahead of that cold front, because we're seeing a warm, moist air mass ahead of this front. That cold front moves in, brings some drier air along with it. You can see temperatures by early Saturday morning, we're only in the lower 30s, upper 20s, not cooling down too badly. That front is moving through, and like I said, slow moving, so we're going to have overcast skies all day long. Not until later in the evening, where this front is nearly out of our area, we're going to start to see maybe a pop-up shower or two just clipping our southern counties. Really going to stay mostly south of us. All that rain is going to be south of us, but again, we could still see a pop-up shower in the southern counties late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. But by Sunday morning, about 8 a.m., we're going to start to see those clouds clearing. A few more clouds passing by, so partly cloudy skies on Sunday, but still back into a warm-up following our colder Sunday. So temperatures on Sunday only dropping down to low 40s across the area. Coolest temperature is always going to be out in Yates Center, those northern counties, always going to be a little bit cooler, so 38 degrees out there, but the rest of us about 40 to 45 degrees for our temperature range on Sunday. Winds are still out of the north until Monday. They're going to start to shift. Cooler start on Monday, low 20s, but we're warming up right back into the mid to upper 40s, and then on Tuesday we're getting actually back into the 50s. So all weekend and into early next week, we're continuing to warm up. An overcast, cloudy sky day on Saturday, a little cooler on Sunday, but back to warming up through Wednesday, when we're going to start to see isolated shower or two popping up late Wednesday night. Scattered showers Thursday and Friday, and then we might see a little bit of snow flurries, a little ice mix there early Saturday morning as this system's on its way out. But only cooler day is going to be that Saturday where we're back into the 30s, but outside of that, we're going to be about average, which is low to mid 40s for this time of year.
Well, that'll be nice. A little bit of everything in that forecast.
It definitely, that's what I've learned. That's what the 4 states kind of brings. Every 10 days you get everything you can imagine right there in one neat package.
Well, there you go. All right, Lindsay, thanks. And stick around. We're making sheet pan toad in a hole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe is perfect for a hearty breakfast or an easy dinner if you're looking to switch things up. Howard's making a recipe he calls sheet pan toad in a hole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
The last thing any of us want to do after making a meal is to clean up a bunch of pots and pans. That's probably why sheet pan cooking has become so popular. If you're not familiar with it, today's recipe will introduce you to the concept. It's a recipe that's perfect for any time of day, including dinner. Well, that's when you serve breakfast for dinner. We start by cutting a hole in the center of 6 slices of country style or sourdough bread. We butter one side and place it butter side down on a baking sheet. Next, we crack an egg into each hole and sprinkle it with some Parmesan cheese and a bit of salt and pepper. All that's left to do now is bake them until the eggs are cooked just the way you like them. Ooh. Once they're done, we'll top them with some crumbled bacon along with some sliced scallions. That's it. Whether you serve this for a hearty breakfast or a fun change of pace dinner, you're going to love how all the flavors and textures come together. If you'd like to try the recipe for our sheet pan toad in a hole, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Hungry Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an easy breezy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, you can find the recipe for sheet pan toad in a hole along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just head on over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices. Well, it's time once again for KOAM's 4 states' finest nominations, our Viewers' Choice Awards. You nominate your favorite places in the 4 states, everything from restaurants to entertainment venues to fitness clubs, you name it. Now, the top nominees then go to the voting round. The deadline to nominate is February 2nd, and you can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/finest and let people know what you think is the best the 4 states has to offer. Now for a final check of the forecast.
Well, we've got a windier day today ahead of a cold front moving through on Saturday. That cold front's leading us to have an overcast, cloudy day on Saturday, but still pretty warm, mid to upper 40s. Now, a cooler Sunday, back to the lower 40s, but we're right back into this warming trend starting Monday, continuing until Wednesday when the rain chances actually start to kick up. And if you can see on Saturday, maybe a little bit of snow flurries at the end of all that rain.
After this past, I don't know, week and a half, just with these freezing temperatures, especially in the morning, it's unbearable. So I'll be glad to have that 50-degree weather. Will be so nice.
And, we don't go back down into the colder temperatures,
right.
But one day, this upcoming 10-day forecast, we're back into the 30s on one day. So I'm really going to enjoy that.
Absolutely. And as a reminder, we will not be having a 5 or 6 newscast tonight on KOAM as the Farmers Insurance Open will take its place. But you can still get your local evening news tonight on KOAM News on Fox 14 at 9 and of course right here on KOAM News at 10. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great day.